Okay, guys. So welcome. This is my first live. I hadn't done one. Actually, I hadn't done one in a long time. So it's my first one in a long time, but I've done them before. I actually wanted to. This is the first in a new series called Lessons from My Father. It's pretty much where I'm going to be sharing things that I've learned in my time of intimacy with God, and in my studies of the Word and things along those lines. So last night, as I was just setting up the environment, preparing the atmosphere for intimacy, worshiping and so forth. God put on me to get to Psalms 31, 20 verses 23 and 24. So I went in there, and basically I'm gonna just read it real quick. It says, this is King James version. It says, "O love the Lord, all ye His saints, for the Lord preserveth the faithful, and plentifully rewardeth the proud doer. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart, all ye that hope in the Lord." Now, from there was a lot that I learned, and but basically what the summary of it was, I mean, I can get breaking down to a couple pieces here, but basically the words that I wanted to look at is first is love the Lord. First, there's the character of love. So you have certain character traits and behavior towards the Lord. Now, I'm not going to try to get too deep because I don't. What I wanted to you guys to share with you guys really is not this deep, but it is. So it says, so love the Lord, right? So have that character, right, that you should see, which you can find out what is the character of true love on my website, mrhenryvargas.com. It's absolutely free, and you can check it on Instagram to check out the True Lovers Creed, so you can see what I'm talking about. The character of love is all ye His saints. So who are you identifying with? Who's your identity? But this is something where it really gets interesting. It says the Lord preserveth the faithful, right? Which means He protects them. But then it says He plentifully rewardeth the proud doer. And there's a lot I can get into that. I just got into those words as well, and it's really interesting. But here's where I wanted to get to. Verse 24 really says, "Be of good courage, and He shall strengthen your heart, all ye that hope in the Lord." It's really interesting because being of good courage means being of courage is being courageous, right? And essentially, what what did I write here? And it says here that He rewards plentifully, abundantly rewards or gives prizes to the proud doer. And that word "proud" is looked up, actually means majestic in this context. So someone who's doing majestically, when majestically is related to regalness and royalty, and originally the concept of a king was to have the character of Christ and to be a godly man, which is why what is the characters of a king supposed to be. But so what it says there is to be of good courage, and it's interesting. It says He shall strengthen your heart, but it says after being of good courage, which means being bold. You've got to be bold and take steps first. And this is just something that came at a perfect time because really with this business that I'm trying to get off the ground called Green Ministries Global, where I'm here in Colombia applying for the licenses to grow cannabis legally, transform it, or manufacture, produce, and export it to the States and other countries. Um, I've been having a process, and I just really got to the point where right now we're at a point where it's really possible with the last year where I've invested, between 60 and 75% of my money into this process to get these licenses could have gone to waste, but it wouldn't have gone to waste because I've learned a lot of things during this time, and I've already become aware of an alternate route that I could take, even if they deny me the licenses, which even if they deny the licenses, I can still apply anyway. So anyway, I just wanted to encourage you that because if you're bold, it says God will strengthen you. The reason you're tired or you're weary is because you're not being as bold as you should be. Because when you take bold steps, you see the hand, you see God's backing, and you see things happen, and you get encouraged, you get strengthened. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. It's basically, and it's interesting because the whole psalm before that it's a tone of despair. It's a tone of pleading for God's mercy because David is in a place of sorrow where he was really sad and was being persecuted. Yet it's interesting. He always ends his always his songs, always ended his prayers on that worship, on a positive note, on the, exalting God, on like bringing it back to what the reality of the whole situation is. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope this lessons from my father was helpful, was useful. Leave a comment below on what you think. whether I'm wrong. Now, I'm not saying this is the absolute truth. This is the truth. This is what I've learned in my intimacy. This is what I feel my Father revealed to me. Um, Take it to your time of intimacy with God in the Spirit, and let the Most High continue to reveal Himself in your lives. Peace and blessings, my family. Love ya.